Hi there, Leonard Parker here. In this video, I'm going to go over how restoration professionals can use email marketing to dominate their local area. This is the last video in our local domination sequence where we've talked about direct mail marketing, we've talked about Google ads, Facebook ads, and finally email marketing. And really, all of these different marketing strategies can be used together so that your prospect in your local area can really know your brand, be familiar with your brand. And while these are more targeted to non-emergency services that your business may offer, that brand awareness can also help when someone is in an emergency situation that requires urgent assistance. So let's get started here. So if you're not familiar with email marketing, in its most basic sense, email marketing is the use of email to promote your restoration company's services or products. So, of course, your services you can promote, but if you offer any type of rentals or even if you sell equipment, that can also be promoted with your email marketing program. You can send personalized messages. So not only personalized in a sense of addressing that person by name, but you can also segment your emails based on that email subscriber's past purchase behavior. So if you know, for example, that this person, they purchased carpet cleaning for their home or their business in March of 2019, you might want to follow up with them, 6 months or a year later. Now we're in March 2020, with a reminder that, hey, it's time to think about doing another cleaning job for your carpet. And that's just one example. Obviously, this depends on your services and kind of what are the regular cadence for providing those services. Why should restoration businesses use email marketing? And really the simple answer is it helps increase revenue. It's been shown that for every dollar spent on an email marketing program, it returns $38 on average in the ROI. And of course, that's assuming that the email marketing program, the strategy is sound and the execution is optimized. But it does offer a great ROI opportunity compared to other marketing channels that you may be using for your business. Now, it's great for small businesses. For little to nothing, you can get started. So even if you don't have a huge marketing budget for your restoration business, it's a great way to start building brand awareness in your local community and reach a broad audience so that they're aware of your services and what you can provide. And then finally, another benefit here, it's a great way to create intimacy with your customer, or even if that person is still a prospect. Whereas ads, you definitely are seen. With emails, you can get a lot more personalized if you know that particular customer or segment of customers, if they all have experienced, some type of catastrophe with their home or business, you can write the email to really, kind of relate to what they're going through and really build that relationship and nurture that relationship for years to come. Which restoration businesses should use email marketing? And I would say if you offer any type of non-emergency services, such as carpet cleaning, such as any type of maintenance services, for example, I know some businesses out there, they provide roofing maintenance along with their roofing restoration services. These are all great services to promote with your email marketing. Typically, if someone is in a situation can be considered an emergency, they're not going to go to the email. They're going to either know the company off the top of their head, where email marketing can help because it does help with brand awareness, or they're going to go straight to Google or their personal network. Or of course, also work with their insurance provider. So that's why I say if you're really targeting emergency catastrophic type jobs, then email marketing may not be the best bet for your business at this time. When should restoration professionals use email marketing? And it really depends on the nature of your business's services. So if in a previous slide, when I gave the example, if you may provide roofing maintenance services once a year or once every few years, probably more likely once a year, maybe you send that email annually, maybe a few months before the anniversary. If you, and I would say this is probably applies for most restoration professionals, if you provide any type of natural disaster recoveries. For instance, I live in Houston, and our biggest natural disaster threat is hurricane season. So right now, it's a few months out before hurricane season. This is when a restoration business owner who serves the Houston market, when they should be sending out things about hurricane preparedness. This really just sets a good tone with your email list, and you're providing them helpful information. You're providing your expertise. So if they do unfortunately have the unfortunate situation where their home was severely damaged by a hurricane, well, guess who they're going to call? So that's how you can leverage your services, your expertise for with your email marketing. And then finally, and this is kind of more, for non-emergency services, if you're offering any type of promotions on your carpet cleaning services or drywall repair services or anything like that, these can be promoted on a regular basis, and you can offer exclusive coupons and coupon codes to your email list subscribers. How to do email marketing for your restoration services business. And this is really high level, but if you knock out these 7 steps, you'll be well on your way to putting together an effective campaign. So first things first, you need to define your audience, and depending on who's that person who's making the decision. So if you're B2B, that's going to be the business owner, or maybe even whoever owns the office building. That's going to be your target audience, and that really is going to inform how the email copy that you're using, the subject lines that you're using, the tone of your message. So typically, if you're B2B, you want to have a more professional tone versus if you're more in a B2C space, maybe you can be a bit more casual. But you really need to understand your audience, what they're looking for, and the information that's really going to be helpful for them. Step 2, you need to establish your goals. So what really are you looking to accomplish with your email campaign, your email marketing campaign? Is it you're really trying to increase brand awareness? So in that case, you want to build up the list of subscribers. Are you really trying to use email marketing? Which I recommend for most companies. Are you trying to use email marketing as a channel to get more appointments, get more leads, get more calls? In that case, you need to be tracking your conversions using Google Analytics. It really depends on your goals, but you need to establish those goals so that you know what you're shooting for. Step 3, you need to create opportunities for people to sign up. And first, I'll start online. So on your social media pages, you should have a link that allows people to sign up for your email list. On your website, you should also have a way for people to subscribe to your email list. Where I see in most cases, people or business owners, they will just have a subscribe to newsletter on their website without any real incentive on why people visiting their website should subscribe to their newsletter. And so this is one of the reasons why I recommend having a blog on your website where you're providing information. The person comes to your website, finds that information helpful, and then you can have some type of call to action that says, want more helpful information about X? Well, sign up for our newsletter for monthly updates to help you avoid disastrous situations. Something like that. And that's a great way to get people to sign up for your email list. Now let's talk about offline. And offline, if you're not already doing this, I recommend participating in local events. So most cities and towns are going to have different business expos, local business expos, where you'll have a booth. You can meet fellow business owners in the area, and it's also a great way to get out in front of the public. If you're ever doing an event like that, you should always have some way to collect email addresses, because uh, that's partly the reason why you're there, to get more customers, to expand your business opportunities. So make sure that you are participating in those offline events and you have a way to gather contact info. Make a schedule for your email program. So you need to have a regular cadence on when you're sending out emails. And I suggest at a minimum the next 90 days or 3 months or so, creating an email campaign that goes that far in advance. But if possible, try to schedule out a year in advance. That way, once you have your emails written, you can kind of set it, forget it, just look at your metrics and make sure there isn't any tweaking that's needed. Step 5, choose an email platform. So there are many popular platforms out on the market that will make this a lot easier for you. If you don't have a marketing professional on your team, or you're not looking to work with a marketing agency, there's providers out there, and I'll go into in the next slide, that do offer a lot of features and make it easy for you to set up your email marketing program. Step 6, purchase a B2C or B2B email list. And while this isn't ideal, it's kind of the last resort if you're not able to build your own email list or use other avenues to build your email list. So purchase a list. You might have to do this when you're getting started, but again, it's the last resort. And in the next few slides, I'll detail why. And then step 7, measure results. You want to make sure that you're tracking your metrics. And again, most email marketing providers will make this very easy, and you can see this in a very easy to use dashboard. Now, these are just some of the popular email providers on the market. I would say I have used most of these, probably MailChimp and Mailshake, along with Aweber and ActiveCampaign mostly. But each of these different providers, they have different pricing options. So if you do have a certain budget you're trying to stay within, one provider might be better than the others. But these are legitimate providers. They provide good services. So I would check those out. And if you're not really clear, you don't have time to pick a provider, feel free to give us a call. We can pick one for you. But just remember that some of these providers, they do offer features that others don't. So depending on what you are looking for with your email marketing campaign, that might dictate which provider that you go with. Now, these are just some best practices for your email marketing campaign. So like I said a few slides ago, make purchasing a contact list your last resort. It's just these lists are spammed heavily. So if you are purchasing a B2C or B2B list, first, make sure that there's some type of guarantee with that list provider that if, let's say you buy 1,000 emails and 300 of those end up bouncing, that there's some type of clause in place where they will replace those bounced email addresses for free. Also, another reason why you want to try to avoid purchasing contact lists is that sometimes these can be outdated, and you just want to make sure that you're purchasing a clean list. So these are some questions that you should ask your email list provider, and there are many out there. I'm not going to go into details because, again, I look at this as a last resort, but it might be necessary, especially when you're getting started. Use an actual team member's email address in the from field. And the reason why, this makes it more personal. So you don't want to use something like no reply at HoustonRestorationMarketingCompany.com. or HoustonRestorationCompany.com. Something like Tom at HoustonRestorationCompany.com. It's a lot more personal because that person who's receiving the email knows that they're getting an email from Tom and not some robot. Keep your email design consistent with your restoration company's branding. So make sure that the color scheme that you're using is consistent with the color scheme on your website and any other marketing material that you're using. Make sure that you're incorporating your logo. And if your company has a mission statement or a vision statement, make sure that that's included in your email template as well. Make sure that your email looks good on mobile devices. Most people, they're going to look at your email on a mobile device. So make sure that it still looks good, it looks clean, there's nothing overlapping, the text is easy to read and it's easy to scan on a mobile device. And most of the email marketing campaign platforms that I shared in the previous slide, they're going to have an option where you can preview your email on a mobile device. So make sure that you're always previewing before you're sending those out. Include important contact info such as the business phone number and email, links to social media, and all of that good information. And one other thing here, especially if you have current customers or past customers on your email list, always include links so that people can review you on Google My Business, on Yelp, and some of the other major review platforms. Keep your main message above the fold. So if you're like most people, you probably get bombarded with emails every day. Most probably you didn't subscribe for or don't remember subscribing for. So try to keep that in mind and keep your main message above the fold so that your subscriber, when they open that email, they'll know right away what your email is about and they can take action if it applies to them. Like I already said, personalize the email. So you want to make sure that you use a team member's email address, but you also want to personalize the name if possible and make the message personalized to what that customer is interested in. And this kind of goes into the best practice number 8 here, where you segment your different email list subscribers to different needs or services or different audiences. So if you know you have a list that they recently suffered some severe damage to their home or business, you might have your own email campaign to that segment compared to people who have just used your carpet cleaning services. So just want to make sure that you personalize as much as possible based on that target audience and based on their past purchasing behavior. Moving on here, keep your list clean. So I recommend cleaning your list every 6 months, but if you don't have the time, make it an annual task where you go in and just look at people who have bounced from your list, people who are interacting with your emails. Maybe you send them a, hey, we don't want to send you information that you don't find useful. Are you still interested in subscribing to us? Maybe they've just been busy, but you want to clean your list. This can really help with the bounce rate. This can help with the unsubscribe rate, and it can help with the open rate. You really only want to include email list subscribers who are engaging with your emails. A/B test. And really, this is the idea of having 2 versions of your emails. So where maybe you're testing a subject line or you're not quite sure on your email template yet, you can send template A to 500 people, and then template B to the other 500 people, and kind of just monitor your metrics to see which one leads to better engagement, and that's usually going to be your winner. Incorporate incentives for engagement. So, this goes back to offering promotions or coupons if someone subscribes to your list or replies to your email. You always want to make sure that you keep your email list subscribers engaged. Use autoresponders for opt-ins. So when someone signs up for your email list, especially on your website or somewhere online, have an automated email that goes out so that you're interacting with them right away. You don't want that they subscribe to your email list and they don't hear back from you until 6 months later, because they probably forgot who you are, and they probably forgot that they subscribe to your email list. So you want to make sure that you have some type of automated response in place. And that's usually the only time where you will want to use a automated response. Monitor your key metrics. So your open rate, your bounce rate. So basically open rate of those of your total email list. What percentage of those people are actually opening the email? Bounce rate of your total email list. How many of those emails are invalid or those emails aren't being delivered? Click rate, subscribe rate, and conversions. And obviously, conversions is the most important, but you have to make sure that some of these other metrics are optimized, and then you'll start seeing improvements with your conversions opportunities. You want to integrate your email campaign with social media. So I know specifically MailChimp, they offer when you send out an email, you can also automatically post that email to your Facebook business page or to Twitter. So that definitely is something, depending on your email marketing campaign provider, you want to make sure that you are leveraging those integrations. You want to use a different email account from your primary business email. Now, this is something that I don't see often, but it can be important, especially when you're starting off and especially if you're buying a list. Whatever email you use for your day-to-day business, so let's say you use Tom at HoustonRecoveryCompany.com, you want to create a similar but different email account. So maybe tom.moore at HoustonRecoveryCompany.com, and use that to send to your email list. And the reason why, if your emails are marked as spam, if your emails are bouncing, you always open up the risk of your email getting blacklisted. And you don't want that to happen with your primary business email, because that means all of your emails are now going to go to spam folders. And you might be wondering why a customer hasn't heard back from you, or why you haven't heard back from a customer. Well, your emails for the last 3 months have been going to their spam folder. So you kind of just want to make sure you protect your primary business email. And just one more note on that, there are cases where your entire domain can get blacklisted. So you want to make sure that you follow these best practices and make sure that you have the proper strategy so that you are minimizing your unsubscribe rate, you're minimizing your bounce rate, and you're really getting your email list subscribers to engage with your content. So I'm going to wrap up this video with a few expert tips. So the first is renting an email list. And this is a great option if you're not big on buying an email list for the reasons I articulated earlier in this video, or if you just don't have an email list right now. You can find a upstream or downstream business owners. So people who either serve the same customers or same target audience that you serve, or if there are any business owners that you refer business to, or business owners that refer business to you. These can be great ways to kind of borrow their email list, basically. And if you're not sure who that is, maybe you're not really using kind of referrals at this point in your business. Look at online locally. Look at who has authority. Maybe they have a large Facebook or Instagram following, and they do serve your same audience. And reach out to them to see if they're open to that opportunity. And typically, there are a few ways you can pique their interest. First, you can offer an exclusive promotion just to their email list. And even if this is an ongoing relationship, you can offer affiliate opportunity where if there's any business that you can track that comes from their email list, you can offer them a percentage of that of the revenue on that job. So just a few ways you can pique their interest. So let's say you have established that partnership and now you have access to their list. Before you send any emails, it's best if you have them introduce your company to their list because they subscribe to their list, not to you. So if they hear it from that business owner's in that business owner's own words, then they're more likely to engage and be open to what you have to offer. And like I said, offer exclusive promotion. That's always a great way to get people interested. So that's my first expert tip, running an email list. Expert tip number two is subscribing to either a local competitor or other restoration business email list. And typically, you want to find big operations. So people, operations, maybe they serve multiple locations, or just from your experience working in the area, they complete quite a few jobs. And the reason why is that if their operation is at a certain point where either they have a marketing professional in their team or they're outsourcing their marketing work to a marketing agency, you can make a reasonable assumption that that marketing person is doing A/B testing, a lot of the best practices that I mentioned earlier in the video, and pretty much what they're doing is probably what's performing well for them. And subscribing to other restoration business email lists is a great way to get content ideas. So, what type of content are they including in their emails? What type of promotions are they including in their emails? It can give you some ideas for different subject lines to use, different email design ideas to incorporate into your own email campaign. And then you can identify patterns. So in marketing, if we find something that works, like I said, we're always going to A/B test it. But if you keep seeing the same patterns with the subject lines or the same kind of design, you can make another reasonable assumption that it's working well for them. It'll probably work well for you as well. And then the last expert tip here, and this relates to a previous video I put together for this local domination series, is to incorporate your emails into your Facebook remarketing. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, you want to use all of these different strategies in conjunction with each other to really build that brand awareness locally. So your emails, you can take those and upload those as a remarketing audience on Facebook. You just have to make sure that your Facebook pixel is installed on your website. That way you can track people who have visited your website with remarketing, but you can also remarket to emails directly using Facebook's remarketing feature. Now, Google also offers this, but there are some requirements as far as how much money you're spending per month with their platform. But Facebook, there is no such requirement. So just make sure that you're following Facebook guidelines and make sure that you have permission to email the people that are on your list, and you should be good to go there. Now, if I'm now at the end of the video. If you're still very confused about email marketing, maybe this information is still over your head, or if you know that you just don't have the time or manpower on your team to build this in-house, feel free to give us a call. Our number is right here on the slide. I have also included that number here in the video description, where we can really help you get started on a right path with your email marketing program or any other marketing tactic that you are planning to use to really build your local relevance and local brand awareness. So thank you for watching the video. Thank you for watching the series. I hope these videos have been helpful. And until next time, take care and have a great rest of your day.